everyone. It's Miss Angela from the Fort Worth Public Library. Welcome back to another Fort Worth Nature Center Discovery Club Storytime. I've given you a hint about what we're talking about today, and it's hanging from my ears. Do you know? It's butterflies. Today we are talking about butterflies. Our song is going to be set to the tune of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and it's a great early literacy practice to set your own words to songs like this. And the tune for Twinkle Twinkle Little Star is the same as the ABC song, maybe some others you know. It's a really easy tune to set your own words to. These words were set by some other storytime providers around the country, and it's called Flutter Flutter Butterfly. So I've asked my friend the butterfly to help us out with this one, and the butterfly is going to join us on the first one, and then we're going to do some actions for the second time around. Are you ready? Let's go. Flutter, flutter, butterfly, floating in the summer sky, floating by for all to see, floating by so merrily. Flutter, flutter, butterfly, floating in the summer sky. All right, the second time around, I'm going to ask you to make a butterfly and sing along with me. So I'm going to ask you to make your arms into an X like this, with your palms facing toward you, so I can see the outside of your hands. Looking good. Now slide until your thumbs can hook together. And that's it, you've made a butterfly. So let's practice fluttering our butterfly around. Flutter, flutter, high and low and fast and slow. We're going to flutter our butterflies a little bit slow while we sing the song. Flutter, flutter, butterfly, floating in the summer sky, floating by for all to see, floating by so merrily. Flutter, flutter, butterfly, floating in the summer sky. Great job, everyone! Now let's move on to our story. And our story for today is called Monkey Puzzle, and it's by Julia Donaldson and Axel Scheffler. Do you see the monkey there on the cover? There. And what else do you see? I see a butterfly, I see some flowers, and I see a caterpillar. The end pages have some beautiful drawings. You may see some of these animals later on. Monkey Puzzle. I've lost my mom. Look, there's some ants down there. Some strong ants carrying leaves. I'm going to sing the part of the butterfly. Sometimes it's fun to sing along to stories, even if they're not written that way. This one lends itself really well to an old lullaby. Hush, little monkey, don't you cry. I'll help you find her, said Butterfly. Let's have a think, how big is she? She's big, said the monkey. Bigger than me. Bigger than you, then I've seen your mom. Come, little monkey, come, come, come. No, no, no. That's a... What did the butterfly find? An elephant. My mom isn't a great gray hunk. She hasn't got tusks or a curly trunk. She doesn't have great thick baggy knees. And anyway, her tail coils around trees. She coils round trees, then she's very near. Quick little monkey, she's over here. No, 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 that's a... What did the butterfly find this time? A snake. Mom doesn't look a bit like this. She doesn't slither about and hiss. She doesn't curl round a nest of eggs. And anyway, my mom's got more legs. A nest of eggs. We've talked about nests. It's legs we're looking for, you say. I know where she is, then come this way. No, 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 that's a spider. A spider like Anansi. Mom isn't black and hairy and fat. She's not got so many legs as that. She'd rather eat fruit than swallow a fly, and she lives in the treetops way up high. She lives in the trees, you should have said. Your mommy's hiding above your head. No, 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 that's a bird. It's a parrot. Mom's got a nose and not a beak. She doesn't squawk and squabble and shriek. She doesn't have claws or feathery wings. And anyway, my mom leaps and springs. Aha, I've got it, she leaps about. She's just round the corner without a doubt. No, 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 that's a frog. Butterfly, butterfly, please don't joke. Mom's not green and she doesn't croak. She's not all slimy, oh dear, what a muddle. She's brown and furry and nice to cuddle. Brown fur, why didn't you tell me so? We'll find her in no time, off we go. No, 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 that's a... What did the butterfly find this time? A bat. Why do you keep on getting it wrong? Mom doesn't sleep the whole day long. I told you she's got no wings at all. And anyway, she's not nearly so small. Your mom's not little, now let me think. She's down by the river having a drink. No, no, no! That's the elephant again. Butterfly, butterfly, can't you see? None of these creatures looks like me. You never told me she looked like you. Of course I didn't. I thought you knew. I didn't know. I couldn't. You see? None of my babies looks like me. What are those? They're caterpillars. The butterfly's babies are caterpillars. So she looks like you. Well, if that's the case, we'll soon discover her hiding place. No, 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 that's my Dad. Come, little monkey, come, come, come. It's time I took you home to Mom. The end. So we learned a little bit about butterflies in this book. Their babies don't look anything like them. I'm going to pass it over to Mr. Michael from the Nature Center to tell us a lot more about butterflies. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Hello everyone, this is Michael Perez with the Fort Worth Nature Center and Refuge. So glad you can join us this week for Discovery Club again. Hope you're having a great day today. I want to thank Miss Angela for the story and the song about butterflies. Really appreciate your contribution to our program. So it was so fun to have you. And as she sang a song and read a story about butterflies, that is what we're going to be discussing this morning. Now what we're going to focus in on is what a butterfly is, what group does it belong to. We're going to talk a little bit about life cycles and the life cycle of a butterfly. And third, we'll talk about the importance of butterflies. How are they so important, or why are they so important for us, and what do they do for us? And then we'll transition and show you some images of some butterflies we found around the Nature Center and talk a little bit about a special type of butterfly called a monarch. And then I'll conclude our Discovery Club. So let's go ahead and get started and talk about what a butterfly is. Now, we know butterflies are insects. And we talked about insects before when we talked about ants. We talked about arachnids when we talked about spiders. So, not to confuse the two, but butterflies are insects. And I have this little stuffed animal here. It makes some sounds, too. Pretty cool. Is that the sound of a butterfly? Maybe the fluttering of the wings. So, butterflies are insects. And insects are animals that have how many body parts? Great. 3, you remembered. So they have a head. So here's their head. In fact, their head also has antenna. There's some antenna. Allows them, they're very sensitive to touch and so forth. So they have a head with their eyes are attached to, and the mouth part as well. So their head. So that's the first part of a butterfly and an insect. The second part is what we call the thorax. The thorax is in the middle part of the body where it makes the sounds. That's where that little voice box is. So the thorax is a part of the body where all the feet are attached as well as the wings. So they have 6 legs. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they have 6 legs attached to the middle part of the body called the thorax. Also, their wings are attached to the thorax as well. And their third and final body part is the very back, this part right here, called the abdomen. Abdomen. So the butterfly is a member of the insect group, and it's defined by having 3 body parts: a head, a thorax, and an abdomen. And on that head you have antenna, you have lots of eyes, the eyes, I'm sorry, and then you also have on the thorax, the second part, you have the legs and also the wings attached to it, and then an abdomen. So those are 3 body parts, and that's what an insect is, and butterflies are a part of that group. So when we look at butterflies, we see butterflies flying in our gardens, at local parks, and they have wings and they're flying, and they look like this. They look like this. There's another butterfly, a little figurine of one. Okay, they look like this, but they're not always like that. And just like us, we have to develop and grow, and we look different now when we're older than when we were very young. There's a development there. So I want to quickly take you through the process of the life cycle for a butterfly. So let's talk about that and transition, talk about life cycles. And all forms of animals, particularly insects, they go through these changes. You know, this phrase called or referred to as metamorphosis. It's a change. A change from the egg state all the way to a full-grown butterfly. So here's a leaf, and what happens is the mother will come and she lays an egg. Typically, oh, there's a couple of swallowtails that got my attention. They're fluttering right in front of me. Really cool. So the mother butterfly comes in and lays her eggs. Typically lays it on the underneath the underside of a leaf and deposits her egg. So here's a very simple form of what that looks like. So there's a leaf and there's an egg. Over time, short period of time, the caterpillar emerges from the egg. So out from the egg doesn't come a butterfly. It's a process, and it starts with the caterpillar stage. So that's what this is depicting right here. You have this leaf and the caterpillar emerging from the egg. Now, whenever the caterpillar comes out of the egg fully, it's hungry. It's ready to go. Chomp, chomp, chomp. It starts eating. So that's the beauty of the mother leaving the eggs on the leaf, because whenever the caterpillar emerges, it already has a food source ready to go, ready and available. So that's what's happening in this image here. Well, not image, but this object here is showing you the caterpillar eating and eating and eating. Y'all probably have heard of the story. Your parents are watching and probably even read the story to you from Eric Carle called The Hungry Caterpillar, where he just eats. Maybe that'll be on the list for the library when they show their list of books. But nonetheless, we carry on. So as that caterpillar is eating and eating and eating, it grows. It grows and grows and gets larger until it gets to become a large caterpillar. And this is the stage right before it starts to make that transition into becoming a full-grown butterfly. So you can see a larger caterpillar. And this one is a caterpillar. This is what a monarch butterfly caterpillar looks like. So, just like you, well, not you exactly, but maybe your older brothers and sisters, they get older, they start growing up. Well, so do the caterpillars, and they get to the point where, yes, we are ready to become adults. And you may have older siblings like that. So they're ready to become an adult. So the process and that change starts to occur. And what they do is they stick to this leaf, okay, a new leaf, because they've eaten all the other ones. They find a leaf, and they stick there and go upside down, and they start the transformation process. They start to develop something called a chrysalis. Some of you refer to cocoons as well, but a chrysalis, and it attaches to the leaf, and inside of there's a lot of things going on, a lot of changes going on so that whenever it comes out, he's no longer a caterpillar, he'll be a butterfly. So there's the chrysalis. And you may have been lucky and seen one of these hanging on a leaf. I've seen one, and I'm a pretty old guy, and I've only seen one in my lifetime. So as that process is occurring, the monarch butterfly, as you can see, starts to take form. Now it's a grown monarch butterfly emerging out of that chrysalis. You kind of see it emerging there. And as it comes out, I'm going to turn it upside down. There you go. As it comes out, it starts flapping his wings because it's kind of moist and wet. So the monarch butterfly, as it fully emerges out of that chrysalis, it starts pumping its wings, flapping his wings so it can dry off, so that they're stable enough so he can fly away, fly away. So there's the full-grown butterfly. This one particularly is a monarch butterfly. So that's the life cycle. The life cycle starts with an egg, and then out of the egg comes a caterpillar. And the caterpillar eats and grows and grows and gets to the point where it's ready to become an adult. But before it becomes an adult, it has to go through some stages and mature up in that chrysalis. So it creates that chrysalis, that little cocoon, where it transforms from a caterpillar and changes into a beautiful butterfly. So that's the life cycle of a butterfly. Now, let's transition and talk a little bit about the importance of butterflies. Around here, I'm looking around, I see a couple more. Oh, there goes another tiger swallowtail out there. These butterflies are very important for us because we've talked about it before. Pollination is very, very important. So when butterflies, they have very sticky feet, hairy feet. So as they go up to a plant, to a flower, to get that nectar up, they're collecting pollen all over their body. And the pollen is essential for other plants to grow, for that plant to grow itself. So what it does is, as it flies from one flower to another, oh, I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted by all these tiger swallowtails. All the pollen falls out and goes onto another plant. And that pollen, when it goes onto that plant, it helps that flower to spread seeds, to get more of those flowers, and those seeds fall off. Eventually it grows the seeds and they fall off, and then more flowers grow. So in order for a plant to produce that and to have a more diverse or more types of flowers and to spread those flowers, pollination must occur. And we see that with butterflies. They're very important to do that. Also, butterflies are important. As we say every week, they're part of the food web. There are other animals that eat monarch butterflies and tiger swallowtail butterflies and all sorts of butterflies. Now, we'll get back to that monarch one about other animals eating them. We'll get to that in a second. It's a really cool story. But they're food for other animals. And they provide food for other animals so that the habitats are nice and balanced. So that's a very important feature for monarch butterflies and all the other butterflies that are around. So butterflies are very essential to help spread other flowers around, also to be a food source. So they are very important for us. And third, another important thing I can't neglect to mention is they're just so beautiful. I mean, for us who like nature, who like to go out and look for wild animals, butterflies are a great example of that. So, so definitely encourage you to get out and to look at some butterflies. Oh, I got them to make a noise again, right? A sound again. So anyway, butterflies, real quick review. We talked how they're insects. They have 3 body parts: a head, a thorax, and an abdomen. They have 6 legs. They also have wings and antenna. So they're insects. We talked about the life cycle of butterflies, how they start as an egg, hatch out or emerge as caterpillars, transform in a chrysalis, and become full-grown butterflies. And we talked about the importance of butterflies, about how they pollinate plants, how they are food for other animals to help keep the food web nice and balanced, and then also just aesthetically, just enjoying them. They're beautiful, we love to see them and so forth. So those are some benefits of butterflies. So now we're going to show you some images of some butterflies that we found out here at the Nature Center. This is a monarch butterfly. It's known for the black and orange pattern. we're going to talk about this one a little bit later and what cool things it can do to defend itself. This butterfly is called a red Admiral. It too has orange and black, but a lot of black on the edge of the wings and little kind of strips of orange. They're common around this area. Butterflies can come in all different colors, including white. This butterfly here is called a checkered white. This butterfly may be confused with a monarch because it does have orange and black, but this is called a painted lady. Beautiful name for a beautiful butterfly. As I said earlier, butterflies can come in all different colors. Now when you see a yellow one, you are seeing a type of butterfly called a sulphur. This particular one is called an orange sulphur. A very familiar type of butterfly in our area are called swallowtails. If you look at the bottom part of the wings, they look like they have tails attached to what we call the hind wings. This is the last butterfly we're going to look at today. This is called a short-tailed blue. So they even come in bluish gray colors as well. Now those are some really beautiful butterflies, right? You've probably seen some in your backyard or at a park that you visit. But now I want to talk about a special type of butterfly called a monarch butterfly. And we're going to go through, we're going to look at its host plant, and I'm going to talk to you about how that plant is important to a monarch butterfly. So here is an example of milkweed. So this is the host plant, meaning the plant that the monarch butterfly will lay their eggs on. So the host plant for monarch butterflies. What happens is the monarch butterfly, she flies in. Here she is. And she'll deposit her eggs on this milkweed. And then she flies on the way. And on the base of this plant here, or the base of the leaf or underneath the leaf, the eggs will be deposited. She puts them underneath right there. And as I said in that demonstration, they hatch out and they start to eat. Now, one cool thing about these monarch butterflies is inside of this plant here is a white substance that appears to look like milk. And what happens is as they eat and chomp down on the milk, on the plant, they get that milk in them. Well, the milk-like substance. So you can kind of see that white. That's not an egg, just so you know. That is a white substance. And inside of that are toxins. So when those caterpillars are eating that leaf, they're getting this milk in their body, and they build up those toxins in their body, so that whenever they go through the chrysalis and stage and become a full-grown butterfly, then they have all those toxins in them. And then when this butterfly is flying away, and say a mouse or something's trying to eat them, it eats this orange and black butterfly, and all those toxins get in their body and it doesn't feel too good. And then the next time they see an orange and black butterfly fly by, they see it, they're like, I'm not gonna eat that. The last time I ate that, I got really sick. And the butterfly, monarch butterfly, is safe. So this plant here, their host plant, milkweed, is very important to help them survive in the wild and not be eaten by other predators. So what a cool defense that this butterfly has based on the host plant. Now that's a pretty special butterfly, right? To be able to have that defense, the ability to defend itself in such a way cool. Well, guys, I want to conclude this edition of Discovery Club. Again, thank you, Miss Angela, for your story time and your song. Really appreciate that. And guys, I hope you learned a little bit about butterflies or relearned something. The fact that they're insects, 3 body parts. Talked about the different, hope you learned about the life cycle, or was reminded about the life cycle of a caterpillar. Got to see some really cool images of some butterflies and learn about the monarch and its great defense. And then of course those images of some of the butterflies we have in our area that you too can see at your local park or in your backyard. So thanks again for tuning in. We will be here again, same time, same place, for Discovery Club next week. So I hope you can join us. And until then, I hope you have a great day and a great rest of the week. Bye-bye, guys.